Hello, this is your genial host and virtual life coach, Michael Lewis. Let's talk about the secret to a successful relationship. This is a very emotional, clenching, gripping subject, and we are going to be calm, and we're going to be cool, and above all, we're going to be sensible about this. Listen, everybody's got their story. I get it. I do get it. And I am sure that I have probably checked off personally all the mistakes that a person could possibly do on this subject. So I do get it. And somehow, despite all of that, and maybe because of all of that, my darling wife and I enjoyed 43 years of a beautiful, beautiful marriage until she passed away. So I hope for the same for you. So here's the question. Can you have a relationship in love or in business without selling your soul or compromising or groveling or stressing out or being someone you don't want to be? Have you put your trust in another human being only to see it ground into dust and betrayed? Have you said, here we go again, to yourself one too many times? Do you look around at other relationships, successful relationships, and say to yourself, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just wired differently. Well, no, it's not you. But you see, you have relationships with all sorts of things. You have relationships with your car, your clothes, your food, your dog, your cat, your goldfish. You know, most of these relationships you do great in. You are superb at these relationships, and stop beating yourself up. You are good. You are good at relationships. 3 cheers, pat on the back. But the kind of relationship that I'm talking about seems to be the most troubling of all is human relationships. Our friends, family, business relationships, and the rest. And that boils down to love. And that's what we're going to actually be talking about. What is the difference between your relationship, say, with, the hot dog that you're eating right now, or your relationship with your spouse or your girlfriend, boyfriend, business partner, or kids? What's the difference between those two relationships? Well, you want it to last, unless it's a really good hot dog. But even then, you can have so much of a good thing. Now, you want the relationship to last, and that makes it important. So now you've got all this importance dripping from this relationship because you want it to last. What's the best way to make it last? Well, lasting means there's time going on. So that means a future. You want to put a future there. And how do you put a future there? You put a future there by creating one. It's not just going to pop up by itself. You have to put one there. So the most successful relationships in business or in marriage or whatever are the ones where it's all about creating a future. What are we going to do tonight? Where are we going to vacation this summer? How about the kids' college coming up in 15 years? How much will the business expand this year? You see, future, future, future. Relationships that are sinking or that are leaking fast are all about the past and the present. Couples in trouble, business associates on the verge of collapse, and so on. Listen to what they're talking about. They're talking about the past and the present. They're not talking about the future. They're saying, you're always doing this. Why did you do that? I knew that check was going to be bad when you made that check out for $45 back in 1998. This is all your fault. Look at this bill. It's all past and present, past and present. Now hear this, the past is over. There's no hope there. There's nothing you can do about it. It's gone. The page is turned. It's over there. It's over there. and it can't be unpasted, or whatever you call about undoing the past. Well, you call it undoing the past. So now the future, on the other hand, future hasn't happened yet. It's virgin territory. It hasn't happened. It's full of hope. It's uncharted. You can splurge and create on that. Try spending a day with your kids or with your significant other or your business person and keep your conversation all about the future. Future, 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 future. Where are we going tomorrow? I bet we close that deal next week. Where are the kids going to school next year? Future, future, future. Where are we going to eat? I'm hungry, you know, that sort of thing. Now, I'm going to give you a great big blanket truth. Here it comes. Any problem in a relationship or in really life itself is a problem in creation. Any human relationship at all stops the moment one or both of the people involved stop creating it. Because after all, a relationship is an idea. It's not something you can put in your pocket or stow away in the freezer. So since it's an idea, you have to keep putting it there and putting it there and putting it there, or else it's gone. You know, it has to be continually created. Otherwise, you're just going through the motions. That's why people can be married for 72 years and, you know, they're still together, but the marriage itself ended three and a half years in. You know, now they're just going through the motions. So as a tip, put everything in the future when you're talking to your husband, your wife, your kids, whatever. Your 3-year-old just drew a gigantic crayon mural all over your nicely newly painted white wall. Don't say, I am going to shoot you. How could you do this to me and my wall? Look what you did. No, that's putting things in the past. Look what you did. That's in the past. Can't do anything about that. So just take a deep breath, count to 3 or 5 or 10, figure out some way of putting this in the future. You look at it, you go, well, what are we going to do about that? See, you put it in the future. Going to do. Puts a future there and at least the possibility of hope. If not for your child, then for you. Now, here's one more secret to a successful relationship. Yes, I lied. It's not one secret. It's 2 secrets to a successful relationship. You remember the old movie, Jerry Maguire, you know? What's the famous line that came out of that movie? No, not the one about show me the money. What's the other one? You complete me. You complete me. It's a very beautiful thought. It's a lovely thought. You know, it means, of course, without your loved one, you are not complete. You're only partially there. You're not a whole person. It's a very romantic and sweet thought. It's not completely accurate, though, when you're taking a look at the rough and tumble world of relationships. It just has limited workability. A more accurate description would not be you complete me, but you are me. In other words, you are responsible for everything good and bad about me. I am responsible for everything good and bad about me, about you. The best of me is the best of you. The worst of you is the worst of me. We are a unit. We are one. We are we. How does this work out? Okay. Your spouse drives the car, beautiful new uninsured car, into the neighbor's fence, causing $9,852 worth of damage to the fence, let alone your car. So the expected reaction is you go, you did what? How could you do such a thing? See, it's past, past, past. You get into this big, it's all about the past. No, and it's about separate things, about you and me. How could you do this to me? See, separate and past. Surefire relationship destroyers. No, what you do is you go next door to the neighbor and you say, I see we dented your fence, even though you weren't in the car. It was we. You get it? I see we dented, I said, I see that we have dented your fence. What can we do about that? So you put it in the we and you put it in the future, and you've included yourself with your spouse in that. So get this good, you are each other. And that also, that you get untold benefits on that too, because that means you get to take credit for all of your partner's triumphs as well, because their triumphs are your triumphs, just like their setbacks are your setbacks. See, most successful relationships are we, not you and me. You and me lead to arguments, misunderstandings, and disharmony. We leads to harmony, understanding, and always getting where the other person is at. I don't know how many times I've had one half of a marriage come up to me and say, I just don't understand where is at. I just don't get it. And I tell them, I said, well, you're not being that person. Just be that person for a bit. And they go, oh my goodness. Oh, good heavens. And I say, so go home and help out. So who is the best person for you in any relationship, romantic or friendly or business-like? Who's the best person for you? The one that you're the most willing to create with, of course. Creating a future, of course. And not the one that you're the hottest for, who has the coolest shoes. I mean, they'd be a cool added bonus, but that's not the main thing. And of course, it's the person that you would be the most willing to create a future with. That would also be the person that you would be the most willing to be we with. Share that word we, and share other things as well. So I'm going to give you a little bit of homework. I want you to think of someone you want to have or continue a relationship with. Business, marital, filial, familial, whatever. Just make sure it's another human being, not a hot dog or a goldfish. And think of 3 ways you can start putting things in the future with that person, so there's more of a create and more of a we thing there. Think of ways you can also be that person as well. Their strengths, their weaknesses, everything. That is all I've got to say for now. So if you like this webinar, please be persuaded to like and subscribe. Check out my website, areyoulivetoday.com. Meanwhile, love each other, take your vitamins, observe posted speed limits, play nice, never lose sight of who you are. Never, never, never lose sight of who you are. So long for now.